I'm Betty Shanik. I'm 77 years old. I was diagnosed with cancer in 1987.
Hi, I'm Donna and I am 47 years old. And 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in March of 2009.
The doctor examined me and he said, I don't like the looks of your breast. He said, I think it's cancer. And he said, you better go and see a surgeon. He called it Paget disease. And he said, I have to operate. So I said to him, do it right away. I was very anxious to get it over with. And he took the front part off my breast, and then he sent it in again to Kingston. I had my surgery down in Trenton, and it came back, and he called me, and he said, Mrs. Shanik, you have more cancer. And he said, I have to do another operation. I said to him, can you do it right away? I was so anxious to get it done. And I went in, I think he told me on a Friday, and Tuesday he operated again, and he took the whole breast off. And he said, again, you might have had it for 30 years. So then I called my family. I guess I don't know exactly anymore, but they all came to the hospital, and it was sad.
It was a sad time.
Yeah, sad time. But I came out of it, and I had to do exercises. After they took 7 lymph nodes out too, because the doctor said, I want to make sure that the lymph nodes are free of cancer, which there wasn't. But I ended up with a big hole under my arm and the breast off. It wasn't.
And lived for a lot of years.
Yeah, 15 years I lived with that.
And then decided for reconstruction.
Yes.
So it was a sad time, but
yeah.
She was very strong, and it was like no chemo or radiation. So once the operation was over, it was like she was back to normal and never had to deal with it again. No. And we just kind of went on with life after that, you know.
I had inserts in my bra, and I always looked perfect after I never was out of shape. I'm more out of shape now than I was with my insert.
So but you know,
because when they operated on me, there is no skin left, so it's really hard to get the right size. So it's very bad.
Yeah.
I never. If I was younger, I would have it redone again, but not anymore. I just live with it now.
So our family dealt with it, and like I say, she was a strong person and got over it, and it seemed like it was over and done. And then that's when 20 years later, I went to the doctor and went for my regular checkup and said, I haven't had a mammogram in a few years. And the doctor said, oh, okay, well, we better book one. And that's when they found the lump. I was pretty positive that it was nothing and thought it's just going to be a lump, no cancer, and ended up having a biopsy, and they took it to the surgeon, and he called me, and I went to the appointment by myself, sure that it was nothing, and that's when he told me it was cancer. And I was in total shock, being there by myself, and just kind of don't think I heard a thing that the doctor said that day. So he said, go home and, talk to your husband and come back to see me, and went home and made a few phone calls to everybody, because it was the middle of the day, and told everybody, and every single person that I called, I bawled my eyes out, and everybody was very positive to me on the phone and kept their cool, and I could only tell my oldest daughter, because
My other two were in university. So I didn't want to tell them and bother them at school. Not that it was a bother, I just didn't want to tell them right away and disturb them. So that took a while. And my husband and I and my sister-in-law went back to the doctor, and he told us everything we should do. And we decided to go on our planned ski trip first that we had booked. And then that was a week later, and the week after, as soon as we got back from that, it was April of 2009, Easter weekend, and they did the surgery. So did the surgery, and the family was all home, so that was very nice. And it didn't go as great. I mean, the great part was that it was just a lump and not in the lymph nodes, and didn't need the whole breast removed. But I had an allergic reaction in surgery, and they had to stop it in the middle of the surgery and deal with my reaction and get me under control and finish the surgery. And that's when had to stay an extra night to get that over with, and went home that next day feeling fine, and glad that it was out of me. And the family was very positive, and then the chemo started. I had to take chemo, and it was exactly like they say, 2 weeks to the day of chemo that your hair starts to fall out. And one of my good friends is my hairdresser, and I said, I'm ready to shave it off. So we went to her shop and shaved the hair. And that was another hard part, but that was the only hard part, losing your hair.
You had long hair for so long.
Yeah, but people say that's nothing, but when you're going through all this, it's
well, it's like losing a breast.
Yeah, well, it's part
you
of
lose your hair. I lost my breast. I never lost hair. Never.
No. Well, you do
Yeah.
with the chemo.
Yeah.
So that was a hard part, and it was a summer of chemo, and shortly after that I had to do the radiation. When you feel well enough, you start radiation. That's 20 days back and forth to Kingston. I feel like it's gone, and people to this day say, how are you? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm cured. It's gone, and it's over, and just everybody else, you're just worried who may be the next one. And you want to tell everybody, just be careful and watch things and check on things and be your own doctor. Tell yourself, I want the doctor to give me a checkup, and force them to do everything you think you need, and that will be the best advice that you could, do. So we're mother and daughter survivors.
Yeah.